And I have really good experiences with Alzheimer's. It's really sad to see my mother have to go through that, and very, very hard for the last 6 months when they started forgetting how to eat and swallow and drink. But I have wonderful experiences with her otherwise, and one of those experiences goes back to my love of astronomy and science. And she used to, on Saturday mornings, always take Perry to the planetarium in Hutchinson. I think it's just because she maybe needed to get rid of this kid for a few hours and get a break. But she used to take me to the planetarium every Saturday to just go and learn about space. So I thought I'd do a favor in return for her, maybe 7 years into her Alzheimer's. This is the point where she no longer knew who I was. Her communication skills were good, but it was always about Jose Jimenez or something she saw on some television program 30 years ago. So we were going out looking at black holes, or it was advertised as black holes at Lake Afton. She wouldn't have understood we couldn't see a black hole, but we went out there, we looked at the telescopes and things, and I put her in the automobile, and she was just tired and vacant, and I was yammering on about pulsars, quasars, nebulas, everything I could possibly talk about. I told her there are more suns, stars in the entire universe than there are pebbles, grains of pebbles on Earth alone. And she was just looking for it, and all of a sudden I felt this presence. And I felt her looking towards me as we're driving. And she said, you know, I don't know what you're talking about, but if you told my son Perry, he'd understand it all. And I could have never had a nicer compliment than that. So I hope you will join my mother, who I'm sure is endorsing my candidacy for United States Congress, and in doing so. I will conclude in letting you know that having run homeless shelters, fed 800 people a day for nickels, we relied solely on private support. Maybe 8% of our total funding, $6 million, came from the government. Otherwise, it was always private support. And that's the only way I'm going to win this campaign as well. I'm not going to win it with folks giving us $2,500, but I'm not going to need that kind of money either. What we're going to need are $25, $50, $100, $200 contributions. And if you're lucky, if you open up your brochure, you may find inside this little giving envelope. And if you put something in that little giving envelope, maybe on November 4th, you'll win the lotto. And maybe we'll send a new person to Congress who actually knows something about middle class and folks who are struggling, and actually cares and has a passion for that. So I want to say thank you to everybody for coming today. Does anybody have any questions?
I have.
Okay.